I'd like to invite you to take a look at something really special. This is a Waltham PS Bartlett model built in 1878 in Waltham, Massachusetts. Serial number looks like we're getting there, I think 1,268,628. Waltham produced roughly 50 million such watches over the course of their 100 years of being a business. This particular beauty is made out of coin silver, and it's stamped on the inside of the back cover there, AWC, and we've got a coin stamped in there somewhere, I believe, and that tells us that this case is made of coin silver. Beautiful piece of workmanship, and little hole in the back there just specifically for the back in those days they had not yet perfected the technique of winding on a stem, so the pocket watch is wound with a little key specifically for the purpose. And on the front of the watch, if we take a look here, even to set the watch, you couldn't set it with the stem because that's just not how the watch was built. They hadn't advanced at that point, although this is quite an amazing piece of technology for its date. It also had to be set with that same key. So they would put the key on the back exactly the same as on the front, and that's how the pocket watch was set. Now you might ask, what is the point of this video? Well, first of all, I wanted to show you this really neat piece of work, and I wanted to make a point really about a much larger question. I want you to think for a moment, if you would be so kind, about the origins of this universe. Now, it's very clear from looking at this piece of work here, and we look at all the design, the specific intent that is gone into this, and the manufacturer, that there was somebody who purposely put this together. Every single piece, I can assure you, and I could go on a great length as to what these pieces all do, but every single piece has been made and engineered. Each one of those little screws on that rotating balance staff, they all have a purpose. The little drilled and capped balance jewels on the top of that balance, and what would be on the bottom, they're all there for a purpose. All made, all designed, all intended to do a specific job. But you know, as I've been holding this, of course I'm using my hands, which again, if I even could imagine, if I even knew how complex those hands were, the truth of it, I must say they're very useful. You need hands, you need a brain, you need a mind to build this kind of thing. Side by side, which is the more complicated? The hands are by far more complicated. Now think of this question here. In our modern scientific world, partly because of the things that we as humans can build, such as this, we have bought into this notion that science is the way by which we can understand the universe. We look at the marvels we can create, and we've become so forgetful of our own origins, and that's perhaps a kind way to put it, but it's I would say in some cases, in most cases really, it's a deliberate forgetfulness of the wonders that we see in the wonders of God's creation. There's tremendous design here in God's handiwork. God has done a wonderful thing in creating us. The official story in this world as to how this piece of material came together, really, if you really want to look at it, it is the following. Modern science tells us that what you are looking at right here, right now on this YouTube video, you are looking at nothing more than the evolution, the natural fallout and byproduct of a massive explosion that has come to be called the Big Bang. Stop and think about that. Science tells us once upon a time there was nothing, then there was a big bang, and then as a result of a countless chain of progressive, lucky, random events, things developed, even elements developed, because apparently they tell us that originally there was only hydrogen. Now if you can imagine an explosion caused by nothing that just happened because it happened, and a singular element of hydrogen. What have we got here? We've got coin silver. We've got all kinds of different metals, very stable in their properties. We've got brass in here. We've got spring steel. We've got ruby jewels, which are quartz in origin, again mined out of the earth. All these things, really and truly, could we conceivably believe that such a thing could come from hydrogen all on its own, without any directive power, without any giant, if you will, watchmaker or designer or creator in the heavens? Just a thought here from looking at this watch. Design demands a designer. Nobody imagines that this came together from shaking a bunch of random parts together. It's all too well planned. It's all too well designed. Once again, signing off here. My name is Paul Blackmore, a watchmaker in Fredericton, New Brunswick. Just reminding us all that we do have a designer, we do have a creator. His name is the Lord, and his Son is Jesus Christ. And he is the one, as our designer and as our maker and as our creator, that we shall all have to give an account to one day when our life is over. And if we put our faith and our trust in him, and if we confess in honesty that we are sinners, then that very God, that one who created all perfection, he can receive us into heaven forever, where we will see wonders far greater than this little wonder I'm holding right now. Okay, signing off. God bless.